Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Leon from No More Lines. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and watch the video to the very end. In this video, I'm going to be going over the Vlookup function. Vlookup is probably one of the most important Excel functions. It's mainly used to quickly search and return information based off of a table array. Vlookup has four main components, and I'll go over each one of these. The first component is the lookup value. The lookup value is the value that you're looking for within your function so that you can return a value within a column index or an array. That value, it doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase, it's going to find it regardless of the case. The second component is the table array. The table array is the array that the Vlookup function is going to look for. And one important thing is that in this example, column A and B is the table array. The lookup value must be in the first column of the table array. So you see that the name of Bob is in column A. It's actually in there twice, but the actual name of Bob, it has to be in column A for it to return a value. If not, it's going to return a not applicable error. The third component is going to be the column index number. Now, the column index number is going to be the column within the array, the table array that you enter in on the second value. It's going to return that particular value. So in this case, the table array is going to be column B. And you can actually change that depending on if you have additional columns that you want to return. Our last and fourth option is going to be the range lookup. Now, the range lookup has two options. There's a true and a false. False means exact match, and exact match means that it's going to look for that exact match. So it's going to look for Bob, and it doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase, it's going to look for Bob. And if it doesn't find Bob, it's going to throw a not applicable error message. Now, the second part is going to be true. Now, true means that it's going to find an approximate value. Now, me personally, I don't use this because it can throw errors. And actually, if there are very similar names, very similar values, it often picks the wrong one. So me personally, I don't use true. I always use false. But I just wanted to show you that that is an option if you want to use it. So I want to also show you that we have, so you see here that in this example, we have Bob West, right? And West is the last name that it returned. So if I type this value out again, I can actually look for the department based on the same name of Bob. So I'm going to type in Vlookup. I'm going to do Bob as the value, and it's going to be G1, same table array. But in this case, I want to highlight the department. So it's going to be AB. Instead of AB, it's going to be AC now. So, and you see that it highlights all three columns. Our third option is going to be the column index, and that's going to be our department here. So I'm going to put 3, and I'm going to put false as an exact match. And you see here that it does show storage. So depending on what columns you have, you'll be able to go in and do a Vlookup off of Bob. Now, one important thing about Vlookup is that it will only find the first match based off of criteria. Now, the reason why that's important is because if you have a situation where you have a table that has multiple values that are duplicated, it's only going to find the first one. Now, that's a good thing sometimes, because in a situation where you're looking for the oldest value, you will sort it based off of the oldest date in an ascending order, where the oldest date is first and the newest date is at the bottom. And if you want to find the newest date, you would just flip the sort and make it to where the newest date is first and the oldest date is at the bottom. So VLOOKUP has a little bit of a room to it, and you'll be able to use it in two different scenarios. So I'm going to show you that example. So you see that there's a Bob West and there's a Bob Morgan in the table. Whenever I sort this table off of last name, I'm going to show you that the Bob West and the storage department is going to actually change depending on this sort. So when I sort it from A to Z, you'll see that Bob Morgan now shows up and the QA department shows up. So again, VLOOKUP is based off how the data is sorted. And if you want to manually put in sorts, you can do that as well. But again, that's one really cool thing about VLOOKUP. Now, one more thing I want to show you all is if I were to do VLOOKUP without selecting AC, where it's where the lookup value is in the first column, even though it's correct, it's still not going to pull anything. So when I type VLOOKUP again and I set everything up, since I'm not selecting column A, now it's going to actually show an error message, because in this case, in this example with Bob, it's not present in the first column. So again, the important thing is that whenever you use VLOOKUP, the lookup value has to be in the first column that you select. And in another video, I'm going to show you a way of getting around that. You can basically take two functions and actually turn them into a single function, and you'll be able to actually go on both sides. So it doesn't matter. But in this example, it does have to be in column A, or the first column that you select. But I'm going to show you that if I were to actually change this to where instead of looking for Bob, it looks for Morgan instead, it will actually pull in the value. So you see here that if Morgan is the value, then it's going to actually pull in Morgan. But you see it pulled in the 1, and a 1 is the same column that it's in. But if I were to change this to a 2, it's going to put in the actual department. So you see here that QA is there twice, because in both functions are actually right. It's based off of the lookup value. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I'm going to leave this example. I'm going to put it in a zip file, and I'm going to link it in the description box and as a pinned comment. If you want to see this example, you're more than welcome to look at it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and look forward to making more videos. You have a blessed day, and you take care.